So when you're ready, let's begin. My name is Karen. Welcome to Fitness with Karen, gentle yoga for everybody. I'm going to start with a tabletop position and we're going to transition into a child's pose. So bring your toes together, gently widen the knees to the width of your mat and send your seat to the back of your heels. And then you make your way down to the ground, stacking your hands on top of each other if that's helpful. And let's say if this is a little too much pressure on your knees, then you can use that pillow. Maybe that'll alleviate the pressure on the knees. If you have the ability or the flexibility to get a little lower, then I want you to really press your seat towards your heels and bring yourself to the ground. I bring you to this pose to allow yourself to find your center. And this is a great way to just relax the body. Not only that, you're stretching out your knees, you're working on your quad muscles, and you're challenging your lower back to stretch. So instead of, I want you to think about pulling your belly slightly upward to the back of the spine and relax your shoulders away from the ears. And then begin to relax the body. This is your pose called child's pose. It's your resting pose. Think of this pose as your home base, your temple. Come back to home whenever you feel the need to rest, or if you need to just relax. If a pose is a little strenuous today, then meet yourself back here into your child's pose. I want you to bring your focus to the space between your eyes. And I want you to find that infinite gaze while your eyes are closed. This is what we call drishti, where you're able to focus and find your center. Let's bring our breath into our nose, slightly constricting the back of the throat. And exhale with your mouth open, cleansing out the breath with a ha sound. Take a nice deep breath in again. Open mouth, ha. And just let it out. Twice more, deep breath in. Exhale, release. Empty out. Final inhale. And then final exhale. Stay here. Let's connect with the breath. Place your tongue onto the roof of your mouth and constrict the back of the throat. Exhale out through the nose like you're fogging up a mirror. Maybe creating the sound of the ocean. I miss the ocean. So let's bring the ocean to our space. Imagine the waves as you inhale, drawing towards the shore. And exhale as the waves draw back towards the ocean. Allow that to relax you. Allow that to calm you. And ride the breath as you inhale and exhale. Then you're going to check in with your physical body. What's happening here? Why are you resisting? And if you are, can you learn to relax the shoulders away from the ears a little more? Softening your belly, relaxing your hips. And just enjoy the body. Enjoy your body right now. You've got one. Notice if there's any areas that are a little tight today and send a little love in that area, connecting that breath and body together. And we're just going to sit in this pose and listen. Listen to what your body is telling you. Honoring our body. Finding gratitude Gratitude for our health. Gratitude for our breath. And that we are very strong throughout this crisis together. Our collective energy right now, we are putting that nice bright light and letting it shine. Because we are that light in this darkness. Don't let that darkness overtake you. Let that light shine bright today. We're going to stay here for 4 more rounds of breath. With each breath, fill up and exhale, empty out. Nice long breath, inflate the lungs, feel it in your back body. And exhale, just deflate. Twice more. Focus on that Ujjayi pranayama. Final one. And exhale out. Gently bring your hands underneath your shoulders and transition to a tabletop position. And from here, I want you to think about stacking your limbs. So wrists underneath the shoulders, knees underneath your hips. Press the tops of your feet against the mat and feel that grounding, right? Rooting yourself down towards the earth as you press away from the ground. Transitioning to your cow pose. You're going to elevate your sit bones high, arching your spine. Keep your neck and your spine in alignment. Drop your head back, maybe look up. Exhale, round your spine into a cat pose. So pull your belly up and in through the ribs, chin to your chest, separating your shoulder blades, pressing away from the ground. We're going to transition into a dynamic movement here as we inhale back into our cow pose. Exhale into your cat. 2 more times here. Inhale through cow. Exhale to cat. And again, listen to how the body moves with the breath. Come back to neutral spine and bring yourself to a seated pose. So bring your seat down, swing your legs forward, make your way to a cross-legged pose. So in this cross-legged pose, this is where a pillow can be very helpful if you have tight hips. You can allow those pillows to support the knees and the thighs. Or if you want to work on deepening your pose, then I invite you to sit and ground your sit bones down. Think about bringing your shin bone outward as you roll it out, opening up the hips, pulling your belly up and in and grounding your sit bones down, hands on top of your knees, and just find your alignment here. So try not to round the spine, ground your sit bones, and lift up. Now from here, as we sit comfortably in a nice, comfortable seated pose, let's reach both arms up over our heads. Think about letting your hands face each other. And sometimes the shoulders will crawl up to your ears. I want you to draw your shoulders back and down. Now, if you have a block is a good way, or maybe a pillow, maybe if it's not too heavy, you can bring that above your head and hold on to that pillow. It's a little more challenging, and reach your arms up. Maybe if you're not into that today, then challenge your arms to reach up and touch your sky or your ceiling. Seal the hands together in front of your heart. We'll do a little quarter turn here. Interlace your fingers, press your palms forward, and then take the shoulders back and down. So you should feel a nice stretch through your collarbone as you draw your shoulders back. Let's work on reaching your arms up over the head. Challenge the elbows to straighten. That's a nice deeper stretch. And try to sink your seat down. So you're gonna root down as you bring your arms up. Exhale, side bend, gentle side bend to the right. Now sometimes we start to round. I want you to lengthen up the upper body and then feel the stretch on the left side. Now try not to force the body. I want you to invite space rather than force. Come back to center. Inhale, reach up and bend to the left. So lifting up and out and stretching up that right arm to the left side of the room. Bring it back to center. Take the arms forward, shoulder level. Flip the palm towards you, exhale, round your back. So bring your heart to your back body, chin to your chest, and separate the shoulder blades. Release the hands down towards your knees. Good. Now, let's bring our feet a little wider than our hips. And really ground your foot down. Take your hands and point your fingers to the back of the room. And this one is gonna open up your chest. A little side view here. Arms out behind you, stretch out those arms, relax those shoulders, and lift up. Opening up that heart. Now we're gonna windshield wiper the knees side to side just to kind of stretch out our hips. So drop both knees down and then bring it to the opposite side. So we're gonna just rock the knees side to side. And try to keep your seat to the floor as you do this. You might find one side is a little more flexible than the other. And gently warming up those hips. Now bring it back to center, I'll face you. From here, we're gonna take this right hand inside that right foot. We're gonna reach that left arm up to the sky. And the challenge here is you don't want to roll that foot on the outer edge. I want you to firmly plant that foot and ground that down. So as you reach up, draw that left hand back. Stay here and stay with the breath. So you're thinking about twisting the upper body up towards the sky. And then bring it back to center. Good. Left hand down, ground that left foot. Inhale that right arm up. Exhale, spin the heart up. When you're ready, stay here for one more breath. Exhale, bring it down to center. Good. Shake the legs. Let's activate our feet. I like doing this because we never think about stretching out our feet. We have a lot of energy points in our feet as well, you know, reflexology. So we're gonna work on pressing our heels and lifting the heels up off the ground. So instead of forcing, I want you to create length. So pressing through the heels, curling your toes towards your shins, and then maybe using your hands for support, ground down, lift up. Now from here, we're gonna exhale, spread your toes wide from the balls of your feet. You're gonna press it forward, and then you're gonna point your toes. Inhale, curl the toes up, pressing through the balls of your feet, flex your foot, or flex your feet. 3 more times. Spread your toes, point your toes. Inhale, flex, challenge the heels to lift. Exhale, point. Inhale, flex. One more time, exhale, point. Curl your toes, inhale, flex. Perfect. Shake it off a little bit. Hope you guys are doing good. So now we're gonna work on the outer part of our hips. As you bring your feet just slightly wide, not too wide, just kind of a little wider than your hips. You wanna anchor your sit bones down, and you're gonna turn your toes inward without bending the knees, which you're going to feel it from the top of the legs and really feel it in those hips. Turn your toes outward, rotating the thighs outward, and you feel yourself squeezing from the center to activate the rotation of the thighs, right? So we're gonna do that 3 more times. Inhale the knees and the thighs in. Exhale, turn the toes out, rotate. Inhale, bring the toes in and the thighs in. Turn your toes outward. Anyone get a Charlie horse yet? Because that tends to happen. Toes in, exhale, toes out. And then we're going to bring the soles of our feet together in a Baddha Konasana, or also known as a cobbler pose or bound angle pose. So really squeeze the feet together, heels together. And in order to activate the hips to stretch, you want to think about your shin bone rolling outward. So see how that works. Bring it forward, rotate the thighs back, and then you want to sit up tall. Bring the knees in as you inhale. Exhale, bring the thighs back down. Inhale, knees up. Feel yourself grounding your sit bones down and maybe even slightly tilting the pelvis up to get more stretch from the groin. Twice more. Inhale, the knees up. Exhale, bring the thighs down. One more time. Inhale, the knees up. Nice and long breath in. And exhale, smooth that breath as you exhale out. Now, just the upper body, lift and lengthen. Piking forward, you're going to hinge from the hips and lead with the heart. So shoulders back, lift up and fold forward. So we're getting a little bit deeper into that lower back. Think about separating the lower lumbar area as you ground your sit bones and elongate the spine and piking forward. We have a lot of tightness in our lower back. This is one way to stretch that lower back out. Think about your spine and how they stack up on top of each other. And I want you to create space as you lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, rise back up to center. Good. Let's bring ourselves to a tabletop position, hands and knees. So in this hands and knees, I want you to wag your tail. Just move your hips side to side. And we're going to bring ourselves to walking our hands forward into a modified plank. So stacking those wrists underneath the shoulders again. Try not to stick that butt out. Release forward and use your core strength to press out of that pose. See if you can ground the tops of your feet into the mat and feel your body strengthen. So this is a nice upper body strengthening pose. Bring your elbows in, drop your belly down, chin to the mat. And you're going to take your arms alongside of the body, left cheek to the floor, looking to the right, and relax. And then just take a moment here to notice any of the sensations that you're feeling in this relaxing pose. I want you to challenge your ear to listen to the earth. Eventually, in a perfect yoga world, that ear will be flat. So you're working your way on the range of motion in the neck area. When you're ready, we're going to turn our heads to the opposite direction. So right cheek onto the mat, looking to the left, and see if you can listen to the earth with your right ear. Relax your shoulders, relax your glutes, just surrender. When ready, let's bring our hands underneath our shoulders for baby cobra, Bhujangasana. So for this one, I want you to bring your legs together, zip up the legs like one cobra tail, and think about pressing the tops of your feet against the mat. When you do that, you're going to notice that the knee starts to lift off the ground. That's what I want you to feel when your legs are active, right? Everything squeezing through the midline. Keep your neck and your spine in alignment, hands underneath the shoulders, elbows in. Gently press your hands and use your lower back to lift you into your cobra. It's not about height, it's about creating that elongated body. Hug those elbows in towards the ribs, exhale, lower down. Flowing cobra, get ready. Nice long deep breath in, lift up, 3, 4, exhale, lower, 3, 2, 1, inhale, rise back up, 2, 3, 4, exhale, lower. One more time, inhale, squeeze everything in, press your tops of your feet against the mat. Maybe stay here if you want a challenge, if you want a little bit more. See if you can bring your hands up off the ground. Don't bring your chin up or look up. Find that nice long line of energy. Exhale, plant your hands down onto the mat. Exhale, extended child's pose. So making your way to child's pose, toes together, knees wide. This time, extend the arms forward. Sliding your hands to the top of your mat and sending your seat towards your heels and forehead to the mat. Breathe. So in your deep breathing and your yogic breath, you want to really send it down to your belly, diaphragmatic breathing. Again, finding that nice extension of the arms, reaching forward as you challenge your seat to touch your heels. You shouldn't find any force or strength, but more space. From here, we're going to exhale, transition back out to your tabletop position. And let's go ahead for threading the needle, starting with the right arm. So stacking your limbs again. Inhale that right arm up in the air. Sliding that right hand through the floor, bringing your right shoulder to the mat. Make sure that your seat is right above the knee and look to the left. So that left hand supports you to allow you to twist. When you're ready, let's slide that left hand to the top of the mat. So you're pressing and sliding your hands into the mat, allowing yourself to twist a little bit more. If you want a little more advanced, reach your arms up to the sky. And see if you want to go a little bit deeper, send that left hand right behind you and see if you can slide that left hand inside the right thigh. Stay with the breath. Nice, long, deep breath. Exhale, empty out. Next, inhale, release that left arm up to the sky. Exhale, plant that hand underneath your left shoulder. Inhale that right back arm up and back to tabletop. Other side, left arm reaches up. Slide it underneath you, reaching that arm across the floor, left shoulder to the mat, knees over the hips, or knees underneath the hips, and sliding that right arm to the top of the mat. Lifting and lengthening. When you're ready to challenge yourself, reach that right arm up to the ceiling. So you shouldn't have too much weight pressing down. You should be pressing out using your torso to allow you to twist. Go ahead and take that right hand behind you, maybe sliding that left hand inside that right hand inside that left thigh. Final inhale. Empty out as you exhale. Let's reach that right arm back up to the ceiling. Exhale, hands underneath the shoulder. Inhale, left arm reaches up and back down to tabletop. Good. Let's make our way to our first downward dog. Curl the toes. Exhale, lift the knees off the ground and press the hands away from you. Pedaling it out. Stretching it out. And when you're ready, let's look up to the top of the mat and gently walk it up to a forward fold. So in our forward fold here, you want to make sure that you have your knees slightly bent or maybe generously bent. You're going to get into the hamstring and your lower back. Go ahead and cup your elbows, relax the head, relax the shoulders, and let's hang out here. Shaking your head no. Shaking your head yes. And then we're just going to sway the upper body right to left. Now this is working on your balance and your range of motion. So in this pose, you really want to anchor your feet down and stay here into your fold for a moment. Lift your toes up off the mat. And notice how you're able to equally balance yourself when you're pressing down to all four corners of your feet to ground you. Spread your toes wide and plant it back down to the mat. Exhale, release the hands to the floor. We're going to toe heel our feet to touch and slowly roll up to standing, starting from the belly, rounding up to stand. And we made it to our standing pose. Perfect. Let's take the arms and reach the arms up, and this is what we call mountain pose, Tadasana. Reaching it up, pinky slightly in. Think about your arms like railroad tracks. They're parallel. And then we're going to seal the hands together in front of our heart. Sweep it up again 3 more times, using your breath. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to your heart center. Invite that breath into the body. Send that breath out of the body as you exhale. One more time, deep breath in, lift up. Exhale, hands in front of the heart. So we're going to work on our eagle arms to open up the shoulders. How I want you to get there, very super simple. I want you to take your left hand over that right shoulder and that right arm underneath that left elbow and give yourself a hug. Maybe a little rocking side to side. And you'll notice the more that you hug yourself, you feel your shoulder blades separating. Now, you can stay here if you have some shoulder issues, or if you want a little more deep practice, interlace the hands towards the face. Try to keep your elbows in line with the shoulder. And from here, we're going to exhale, turn to the right. Try to keep your hips forward and just turn the arms to the right. Exhale, turn the body to the left. Notice that you really need to plant your feet down in order to keep the hip forward. Bring it back to the right again. Exhale, bring it back to the left. Now from here, I'm just going to quarter turn so you can see what I'm doing. See if you can lift the elbows up. Now you're going to feel it in the tricep area and your side body and your shoulder girdle. Now pull your elbows in towards your heart and bow your head forward. So you're just stretching the shoulder blades apart and bowing forward. 2 more times. Inhale, elbows up. Maybe add a little back bend if you're ready for it. Lift your heart up and extend from the torso. Exhale, pull the elbows back in and exhale. Follow the breath. Inhale, the elbows up. Exhale, elbows to the heart. Take the arms back up to center. And then we're going to unwind the arms, take it out to a letter T, and bring it out to our side. Let's do the other side. Right arm over that left shoulder, left arm underneath that right elbow. Give yourself a hug. Breathe. You have the option to stay here or interlace the arms, bring the thumb to the face. Now you have your eagle arms. From here, we're going to move the elbows to the left. Exhale, turn it to the right. Relax those shoulders away from the ears. Again, check in with your body. You'll notice certain areas are a little bit better than the other areas. Send love and breath to the tight areas. Bring it back to center. Bow. We're going to tip the elbows up to the ceiling, drop it back, looking up. Exhale, bring the elbows to your heart, round your back. Inhale, elbows back up. Exhale, elbows to the heart. Bring it back to center, shoulder level. Unwind the arms, take it out wide, and release, shake it off. All right. We're going to make our way to an easy sun salutation. So I'm going to show you half sun salutation first. Feet to the ground. We're going to reach the arms up to mountain. And again, try not to bring your chin up. Bring your chin parallel to the floor. Find that nice, lovely length through the body. Think about bringing your hip points up as you bring your thighs slightly inward to ground your feet. We're going to dive forward as we exhale into our forward fold. So hinging from the hips, folding forward, lead with the heart, hands to the ground. Maybe bending one knee at a time for a stretch. Find yourself in your forward fold here. The challenge here is to keep your ankle and your hip in a straight line. So you don't want your hips back. You don't want to tip over forward. Find that alignment. Slide the hands in front of the shin bones and straighten out your back like a flat table, halfway lift. Now I want you to relax your knees and lengthen through the upper body. It's easier on your joints. Exhale back to your forward fold, half sun salutation. Slightly bend the knees and you're gonna rise up, roll up into mountain pose. And we're gonna do that again. Exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale to your halfway lift. Exhale, back to forward fold. Inhale, reach your arms up over your head. One more time. Diving forward, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. This time we're gonna exhale, plant the hands down, send that left foot back, and drop down to that left knee into this low lunge. So in your low lunge here, you wanna release your hips forward, ground that right foot down, and instead of rounding out the back, I want you to draw your shoulders back and down and find that nice hip flexor stretch. You should feel it on your left hip flexor. I want you to challenge the top of that left foot to press down to get more into that connection with the earth. It's nice to say it's gentle, but if you're not used to doing this pose, it feels a little intense, and that's why we do it, so it doesn't have to feel so intense. Now we're gonna walk our hands back into a half split or a half monkey god pose. So you're gonna kneel, stack your left hip over that left ankle, shift your right hip back, left hip forward, and you're gonna try to straighten out that spine. Now you're getting into the hamstring and your calf, maybe the back of the knee. If you need support, grab your pillows and place it underneath your hand. And you might notice you could be a little tight in the hamstring. So just breathe in that area. Maybe even scoot that right foot slightly forward. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, curl your toes towards your shin and press through the heel. That's way intense. So again, working your edge allows you to get a little more flexibility the more that you work into that edge of the body. We're going to walk our hands back forward into our low lunge, release the hips, ground that left foot down, and look forward. And we're going to dynamically move this front and back. So we're going to exhale, straighten out that front leg, straighten out that spine. Inhale back into your low lunge, release the hips, look forward. One more time, exhale, straighten out that front leg. Inhale back into your low lunge, release the hips. Now we're going to take that right hand inside that right foot and gently toe heel that foot to the edge of your mat. So now the edge of your feet should be in line with the edge of your mat. This is your runner's lunge. Actually, yeah, it's your runner's lunge. So square your hips, release your hips forward. And if you want to go a little bit deeper, you can stay here and hold this pose. But if you want a little bit more, see if you can bring yourself down onto your elbows. Notice if your breath is labored, slow it down. This is how we get through this pose, is by connecting and deepening your breath. Control that breath. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale, deep breath out. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders, bring yourself back up. And we're gonna send that right leg back into tabletop. And we're just gonna make our way to a child's pose. So maybe an embryo version of child's pose. So bring your knees together, sit down on your heels, forehead to the mat, arms alongside of your body. Another variation of child's pose. This is the embryo version. And then when you're ready, we're going to make our way back to tabletop into your downward facing dog. Hands underneath the shoulders, curl the toes, lift the knees, and press into your downward facing dog. So think about your downward facing dog like an inverted V shape. Looking up to the top of your mat, walk your feet up between your hands. Inhale, flat back, halfway lift. Exhale, back to forward fold. One more time. Inhale, rise up to mountain pose. Exhale, dive forward into your forward fold. Inhale back to your halfway lift. This time, plant your hands back down to the floor and send your right leg behind you. Drop down to your knee, release the hips, and find your low lunge. Square the hips, sit deep into your hips, and lengthen out the upper body. Maybe challenge that right foot to press down onto the mat. You should feel a nice long line of energy through that right leg. Think about your ankle and your knee in alignment, so that left leg should be on a 90-degree angle. And just breathe and find your way. So you're not forcing the body, you're just holding into this pose and finding space and holding space. Walk your hands back, extend that left leg straight, maybe even scoot that leg forward, left hip back, right hip forward. Now that right leg is in a 90-degree. Option to deepen. Curl your toes towards your shin, or maybe slide that left leg further forward. Breathe here. Upper body is lengthening. Sit bone shifts back, getting into that hamstring. Think about that nice line of energy through that left leg. Dynamically moving front and back into our low lunge and our half split. So inhale into our low lunge, release the hips. Exhale, straighten out that front leg, square the hips. Inhale back into your low lunge. Exhale, extend that left leg. One more time, inhale to your low lunge. Exhale, back into that half split. And final low lunge here. Take that left hand inside that left foot, toe heel that foot to the edge of your mat. Square the hips. So imagine your hips having headlights. They should be pointing directly forward. And then when you're ready, bring yourself down onto your elbows for a deeper stretch. One more deep breath in. Exhale, deep breath out. Hands underneath the shoulders. Let's make that left foot meet back with that right knee. Reset into your embryo version of child's pose. When you're ready, bring yourself up into a tabletop and make your way to standing on your knees. This is where we're going to use the strap. If you have tightness in the shoulders or tightness in the chest, this is a really good exercise, a really good pose. So I have a yoga strap here. I'm just going to wrap that buckle end, or if you have a belt, use that buckle end and wrap it in that right hand. And you're going to create resistance in the strap. So you don't want your strap loosey-goosey. You want this nice and taut. You're going to bring the arms up over our heads. Keep your knees right underneath your hip. Side view, you don't want to sit it back or arch your back. You want to stand on your knees, hip points forward, squeeze your glutes in, and top of your feet presses against the mat. Let's bring the arms and lower it down. With straight arm, relax the shoulders. Inhale the arms up over the head. 3 more times. Exhale, lower. 3, 2, 1. Inhale, arms up. Last 2. Relax the shoulders. Keep the arms extended. Inhale, arms up over the head. Last 1. Exhale, lower. And inhale, arms up. So imagine like your strap is like a stick. You're gripping onto a stick, right? So you don't want to flare the wrists. You want to keep that extended. Keep grounding your feet down. We're going to take the arms into a letter L shape. Relax the shoulders. Inhale back to center. Take it to the left. Relax those shoulders away from the ears. Inhale back to center. Let's go a little bit deeper. See if you can take that left arm behind the head. Take it back to center. Right arm behind the head. Take it back to center. Now, exhale, bring the arms back forward. Keep the arms extended. Now we're going to go for a nice full rotation with the arms, finding our range of motion. Inhale the arms up over the head. Here's a quarter view or side view. I want you to relax the shoulder, keep the arms back, and we're going to send the arms behind you to open up the chest. Keep your head looking forward as you sweep your arms behind without bending the elbows. That's the trick. Inhale the arms up over the head. Exhale, draw it forward. I know that was a little intense, but the more that you do that, the more opening you'll get in the shoulders. Inhale, arms up over the head. Relax the shoulders, bring it back behind you. Twice more, inhale the arms up. Exhale, lower down. 2 more times, you got this. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, release it behind. Inhale, arms up over the head. Exhale, lower. Last time, final time. Inhale, lift the arms up. Sweep it back. Bring the arms up over the head. And exhale, lower. Good. Let's go ahead and set that strap and make your way to tabletop into downward facing dog. So make your way to down dog and notice the difference in your shoulders in this pose. It's probably a little bit easier, a little more space. Maybe pedal it out. Looking up to the top of the mat. Walk your feet up towards the top. We're going to slightly bend the knees, roll up to standing. All right, so let's work on our balance. I'm going to take basic tree pose. If you already know how to do tree, feel free to go get to that point. If you want to learn, I start with the hands in front of the heart, shoulders back and down, and I start by grounding my feet, lifting my toes up and pressing on all 4 corners of my feet for stability. When I'm ready to move, I plant my toes back down, shift my weight to my left leg, and I come up to the ball of my right foot. Exhale, turn that knee out. Think about everything squeezing in through your center line. Maybe today this pose is more than enough for you today, but if you want to challenge the body, see if you can float that right foot up to your ankle, balancing. The trick here is to find a pose or your focal point that doesn't move and fixate on it, or what we call drishti. Maybe bring that leg a little bit higher, or maybe you can bring it to the inside of the thigh. Play around with that. And if you fall out of that pose, go ahead and try it again. For a little more challenging practice, see if you can extend the arms up over the head. So not only are you extending the arms up, see if you can plant that foot down and get a little taller. Bring the hands to the heart center, and foot comes back down to earth. Swing the arms side to side. Empty coat sleeve. Allows you to help neutralize your spine. Bring it back to center. Let's try the left side. Bringing your weight to that right foot. Come up to the ball of that left foot. Turn that knee out. Explore where your body is and find your center. When you're ready, begin to float that foot up to your calf. See if you can bring that heel up inside that right thigh. Steadying your balance, finding that focus. Reach your arms up over the head. Don't forget to breathe. Relax the chest, relax your shoulders, relax the jaw. Bring the hands to the heart space. And bring that left foot back down to the mat. Empty coat sleeve. Make our way down onto the floor. We're almost done. As we bring ourselves to our seat, extend the legs out in front of you and rock your seat to create space underneath you. Reach your arms up over the head. Again, slight bend in the knees helps you activate the hamstring Exhale, fold forward into this deep forward fold, Paschimottanasana. So this pose can be a little tricky. There's a couple of ways to get there. The way I like to get there is to really work on my hamstring and my lower back. So as I bend my knees slightly, I think about pressing my belly against the thighs, and I lengthen up my upper body. Think about bringing your heart between your toes, and then exhale, fold forward. Think about forehead to shin bone rather than your knee to your nose. So you're lengthening the upper body over the legs. Relax your shoulders. And again, by pulling in, you're working on those biceps and the arms. Inhale, arms up over the head. Make your way down to the mat gently. And then gently bring your knees to the heart, hugging yourself, rock yourself side to side. This allows you to massage that lower back. We're going to go for a hip opener. We're going to take pigeon in this pose on our back, so feet flat onto the ground. Think about bringing your heels towards your seat. And if you find that you're arching your lower back, see about pressing that lower back flat. You'll notice that you'll firm up your feet to the ground in order to keep that lower back to the mat. That's what you should feel. Now inhale that right leg up, flex that foot, pressing through the heel of that right foot, and take that ankle over that left knee. Keep your lower back engaged. Firmly pressing that left foot onto the mat to stabilize you. If you want a little bit more, let's say if you're a little too tight in the hip here, maybe use that right hand to press that knee away, but keep your whole entire spine, shoulders, upper back, middle back, and lower back flat. You always want to flex that foot to keep your knee joints safe. When you're ready, take that right foot back down to the mat, windshield wiper your knees side to side. Reset back to your starting position, feet on the ground, lifting that left leg up in the air. Find that leg extension, grounding your lower back. Ankle over that right knee, press that left knee away from you. Anchoring that right foot down to the mat in order for you to keep yourself stable. Take that left hand inside that left knee and press it away for a deeper stretch. Don't have to go fast. Take your time. Get to know your body a little bit better. When you're ready, release that left foot back down to the mat. Windshield wiper the knees side to side. Go for our supine twist. Let's start off with wind relieving pose. Yes, that's what it's called. You're going to pull that right knee to the right shoulder. So not directly in front of the chest. You want to take it maybe up into your right armpit and then release that left leg along your mat. Again, think about your whole entire spine connecting to the ground. Let's rotate that right ankle around. Rotate it the opposite direction. With the left hand, take that right knee, release that right arm out, twist the whole body to the left. So it should feel like you're balancing on your left hip as you turn your head to the right to complete your twist. The trick in this pose is to elongate the body. The longer the body, the deeper your twist is. Relax your lower back. Relax your hips and just melt into your mat. Stay with that nice oceanic breath. If you're noticing resistance in the body, what are you holding on to and why are you not letting go? Begin to unwind your twist. Make your way back to the mat and windshield wiper the knees side to side. When ready, left knee to that left armpit or left shoulder. You should feel like that thigh, inside thigh is hugging your outside rib. Release that right leg along your mat. Think about that lower back flatten to the ground. If you find your chin tilting up towards the ceiling, go ahead and dip it down towards your chest. Find that elongated pose. Left ankle rotates around. Rotate it the opposite direction. Right hand over that left knee. Release that left arm out and twist the whole body to the right. Keep both shoulders to the ground. Look over to that left shoulder. And then just surrender. Relaxing both shoulders, relaxing the hips. Elongating the upper body. Eventually, that left shoulder will be able to touch the ground. Start to unwind your twists. Make your way on the mat again. Windshield wiper your knees side to side. And we're going to make our way to happy baby. So taking the arms inside the legs and drawing their knees up towards your armpit maybe. Hands grabbing the outer edges or inner edges of your feet. If you want, you can grab your toe in a toe-toe lock. Bring your heels up to the ceiling and bring your heels wide, right? So you don't want the heels together, you want to bring the heels wide. Then gently rock side to side. So in this pose, think about really grounding your lower back into the mat and hiking up those knees into your armpits. So it is a core exercise, it's a core pose. So if you feel all that energy drawing inside, and as you rock side to side, you're allowing the body to compress into your organs to detoxify. Not only that, we're massaging and stimulating our kidneys in this pose. When you're ready, draw your knees back up to your heart. Give yourself a tight little hug here. Plant your feet down to the mat, releasing one leg at a time. And make your way into your Shavasana, your corpse pose. Maybe squeezing those shoulders together, broadening your chest, getting comfortable, taking space on your mat or your floor, wherever you are. And let the body melt against your mat. Relax their eyes. Relax your jaw. Let your arms weigh heavy against the ground. Relax your hips and your knees all the way down to your toes. And you don't have to work on your yogic breath in this pose. Find your neutral breath and take notice of the change and the shift compared to how you felt an hour ago. Enjoy this rest. Honor this peaceful relaxation. I'll take a deep breath in. Exhale out and open your eyes. Gently wiggling your fingers. Get a little movement into your toes. Starting with your head, just rock your head side to side to awaken some movement in the neck. Let's end this with the arms over our heads. Bring your legs together, give yourself a nice stretch. And gently rolling onto your right side in a fetal position, draw your knees up, using your hands or maybe your bicep like a pillow. Stay here for 3 rounds of breath. Using your left hand to prop yourself up, using your strength. Make your way into a cross-legged pose back onto your mat. From here, bring your hands to your heart center, closing your eyes or looking at your fingertips. Taking this moment to scan your body, notice the difference of what you created. It's interesting that when we slow things down, we're able to learn to be calm. Now that we're all forced to slow down, honor the little things. Honor yourself daily and continue to find gratitude. I want to thank you so much for your time and your energy. The light in me honors the light in you. Namaste.